Hello everybody, I'm the Hammer Game Channel. Welcome back to Red Flood, where today we are taking a trip into India. Not to there, to Winston Churchill, the United Provinces, who of course is completely, well, the collapse of Raj is hurting us. We've got brutal put downs, which is hurting. The shadow of Gallipoli is hurting us, and a loading cut off is also hurting us. So yeah, we're not in a good position, but we have a tree, which is awesome. What kind of field marshals do we have? Reginald Dyer. Do we have any generals we all know? There's bloody Mad Jack. Jack Churchill, Francis Tucker, Douglas Gracie, and Noel Bresford Pierce. So we've got some pretty good generals. I'm gonna go with Mad Jack himself. That's Mad Jack, isn't it? Jack Churchill? Or is it Churchill's son? Does Churchill have a son? I have no idea. The brain has just turned into a mess. Right, so free civilian factories. We have one civvy factory. We don't have any military factories. At least we have 3 research slots, so let's go with the OG trio. Let's wamp that up. Decisions available. We'll leave them turned off. We'll disregard those, we don't care. Right, focuses. So, this is our tree. We have 3 routes we could possibly go. We have the old British values. Democratize the country. Nope. Steady she goes. Churchill hasn't changed his ways. Or a night in the library. Churchill's decided to strengthen his reign. Now, which way do I want to go? They damn nearly got me. I'm tempted to go down the middle route. Because that seems like it's going to be chemical weaponry. Yeah, that seems like it's going to be fun. So Churchill's horror. The memories of Churchill's failures hang heavy on his head. Will tonight be another sleepless night? Will tonight be another tossing and turning agony? Maybe there's something to help in the cabinet. The first letter. So we do have the interesting size army. It's not terrible. We can also get offensive doctrine. I've got unyielding defender, which is good. It'll be beneficial to us. Let's just get them set up. So, Federal Republic of India is stronger than us. We do need to deal with some of these, which may be easier said than done. Second letter, Churchill's companion, sorry. Churchill's isolation, the 3rd letter. Concerned mate. Sir, I think you need to stop drinking. A concerned soldier. Churchill's contemplation. A night in the library. Okay. Dearest Lord of Admiralty, Duke Winston Churchill, I hope this letter finds you in ill health. Because of your choices in the battles of Gallipoli, I have lost 3 children. Joshua, Frank and Harvey lay not in their beds, warm and safe, but under the dunes of the Turkish lands because of you. I understand that war will result in death, and when my boys went to war, I was perhaps naive in believing they would all return safe. But as more details of the blunders that led to their demise emerged, as your buffoonery and incompetence became more clear, I realise now that they would be 1,000 times better in Ypres or in the Somme than under your command in the Dardanelles. I know now that their fates were preventable, if only they had been sent to East Africa against the Ashkari, or if they had found themselves knee-deep in the mud of France. How pitiful that I wish for them to have suffered so, for otherwise they would not have died. Perhaps they could have done many great things. I know that Harvey always enjoyed cooking. Perhaps he and his companies in field chef before the shells fell. Oh, he's field chef, sorry. Perhaps there are poems lost in the dunes that my Joshua wrote. I wouldn't know now. May you never again sleep peacefully. For I have not. Yours, Mary Williamson. Dated the 3rd of January 1920. Churchill took another long swig of whiskey and tried to fold it up, throw it in the fire, as he had some few other letters of this type, and yet he could not. Are the smudges of our tears or his? He does not remember. Yeah, obviously, Gallipoli was still an absolute disaster in this timeline. Not a great day for the British Army, was it? Or a great period. But we will take back the Raj. I wonder what happens when we get to the Madras presidency. Do they just get annexed into us, or do we get annexed into them? Resource program, Lashnin, harsh put downs, gentle. A gentle hand. Beat the starving. Just beat the starving. It has become apparent that due to the shortcomings in strategy and lack of resolve, that Sir Winston Churchill, Lord of Admiralty, is deeply incompetent. After repeated mistakes in the assaults of the Dardanelles, including the complete misjudging of the situation regarding mines, the safety of soldiers to land, and the lack of artillery support provided, despite no less than 5 battleships being within fire range, resulted in nearly 100,000 casualties within the first 4 days of landing. The only course that can be reasonably seen that Churchill is a liability in his role. Attached to the back was the official letter telling Winston in plain terms that there was little more that he could say, and that the king had officially revoked his role of Lord of Admiralty. This, he thought, was a memento mori, not for himself. No, the skull on his table. Its phrenological markings, a newer addition to the dusty thing, was a reminder enough of looming death. This was the death memory of a career which flung itself into the wild adventures it was not ready for. He would never repeat the mistake of Gallipoli, never again send men to the fray without deep, careful consideration, assuming he could actually get out of the stand place. He hasn't said the salt of sea, or even the stink of fish in years. He's almost forgotten the coast. Kind of feel a little bit sad for him right now, but we'll see what happens. The library, the balcony, anywhere humans aren't, alone is good. It's safe. No one will criticise you if you're alone. Yeah, I don't think that's good on the whole mental health aspect of things. Isolating yourself from everyone is not a good idea. In fact, it's a bloody silly idea. So, the Bratvash States is in 2. Delhi is their capital. So hopefully, if we just hold their front when we get to war with them, we can just push in here, sort this out, then go up here. Anyways, Lord Winston Churchill. In regards to your placement within the government of Britain, a question we have received 3 separate times, not to mention the letters which have been thrown away. Sending us 15 letters will not make the post office faster. Winston, it has been said that you are not a total persona non grata. Instead, you shall be given a place in the colonies of the British Empire. You may, if you wish, accept the position of the British Raj, the governor of the province of Lucknow. The rest of the letter wasn't terribly important. It was, however, everything to Churchill, looking at it all, looking at where his life went. Except a role in India, after Kurdistan, after Gallipoli. After so much death, destruction, horror, wrote in the name of the British Empire, they were still willing to use him somewhere. Perhaps it was a good sign. Perhaps they understood the impending collapse of the Raj and hoped he would die in the ensuing fights. But he had kept a stiff upper lip and survived, and he would keep doing so. Blood everywhere, every drop stains his mind until he is red as a cardinal and as dour as any butcher. Okay, sir, I think you need to stop drinking. Some worrywarts think that Churchill needs to restrict himself. They should loosen up. Concerned maid. Churchill clearly is not the best leader, and his attitude permeates the NCOs and his Majesty's officers alike. Brutal colonizer. At least the construction speeds up. The what? What the hell is happening in Madagascar? What the so we have the Emirina Kingdom, the Ebonia Kingdom, and the Kingdom of Madagascar. Who the hell's gonna win that? Sir, a maid of Indian blood entered his room with his morning tea and whiskey soda, where once it was called mouthwash, for its tiny amount of whiskey it was now as much whiskey as it was soda. Some days he just wanted it undiluted. Enter, mumbled Churchill. Leave it by the bed, he gestured to his side, where he had scarcely woken up before having his breakfast. Of a few perks I suppose had getting breakfast in bed was an undeniable one. He picked up the crystal glass, rolled it around, pretending to care about taste and smell before gulping down the drink. The maid watched, her mouth agape in horror at the wreck of the man before. Well, do you have anything to say? He growled, noticing her worry. Well, sir, I don't mean to be rude. She waited. The air felt tight, like before a battle, before the first shot was fired. But the maid and I have wondered if you could ease back on the alcohol. It can't be heat. A solid half-pound of glass. Scarcely that smashed into her eye. She let out a scream, blood streaming from her split eyelid. She crawled up against the wall, trying to fight tears, while Churchill roared at her like a hell beast unleashed. I couldn't give less of a damn what the help wants. Get me some more fucking whiskey. Sorry, you need to get to the house. Who cares if he's pallid? He's a grown man. His choice, damn it. Now we've got a concerned soldier dealing with him. Churchill seems a little bit completely unhinged. I guess being completely isolated in the United Provinces will do that to you. I'm surprised he even has any followers at all. Red Eagle, the Ball of Fire, Golden Arrow, Clover, Keta. Nice. Sir, he was slowly as he walked through his library once more. He turned to his soldier, a young Englishman, no more than 20. Good, solid stock, broad-shouldered and large-chested, the kind of person he knew could be counted on to do the right thing when the natives got rowdy. His Enfield Martini, one of the better rifles someone could get their godforsaken sun-blasted hell, was clean and well maintained. A model soldier. Churchill gave him a half-hearted salute back. I must remind you, sir, as you requested me to, there will be a military parade in the courtyard, and while my place is not to judge nor command, sir, I must insist on behalf of Colonel Randall that you attend. Son would do you good, he said, sir. Churchill paused for a moment, looking over the guard. Frowning, he asked the man for his name. Sir, I am Private George Statham. Ah, Private, let me tell you, young man, that you are never to speak to me of such matters again, he spat. Sir, I am merely... Yes, I know you're following orders. Let me give you new ones. Get your pale, unblooded ass out onto the streets of Lucknow for a day, then you'll know why I don't go outside. Tell your commander you're dismissed from the guard and to be reassigned to military police. My orders. But sir, go. And don't come back until you've had to crack someone's head open. Oh my days, Churchill. Churchill's contemplation. Maybe he can't go on like this. There should be something more to life for a duke's son. So he's taken a night into the library. So the old British value, former parliament, former civilian court, sense for the people. See, this seems like a nice way to go. The Anglo-Indian democracy. Look at that. This seems like an election. Look at that. This seems like a nice kind of wooing the people. Look at that. See, this seems very wholesome. This route seems like it's just complete and utter chaos. Let's just find cheap labour. He's changing his ways, but not in a good way. Oh no, strengthening his regime. He's just going even harder than he already is. Which, this isn't working. They damn near got me. Whereas this middle one seems like he's just going to do the exact same stuff he's been doing. So yeah, the raindrops splashed furiously on the floor, the only sound in the otherwise silent palace. Maybe the rain could help me think, thought a disorientated and drunken Churchill, looking through the window. The old viceroy was baffled. He was sure that he went to the library for something, but he couldn't remember what it was. Maybe he just went to grab a book. Some of the old wisdom from Smith would be useful to put the Raj back on track. Maybe some of the classics from Shakespeare could be helpful to alleviate his insomnia. Maybe maybe he just went for a drink to drink a whiskey on his comfy chair. Well, he could drink, and he drank on every chair in the house. Or maybe he just went to take a look at the reports of his table, since he had nothing to do. Anything was possible at this point. I think I should go to bed, decided Churchill. The loud noise of his slippers on the carpet from his heavy feet filled him with a feeling of ennui. What the hell is that? He felt like each one of his 61 years was coming to him with every step. The old man wished to recover that enthusiasm he had when he proposed that foolish Gallipoli operation. Even the most resonating of failures would fill him of more life than his current depressing situation. Did I lose control of my life? I think you did, Churchill. Churchill has seen 3 possible paths ahead. Which one shall he go down? He's not going to change his way. Take a nap. Lazy Sunday. Oh, this seems like a... Alright, it's clear now. After many bottles, after many cigars, after a lively debate and not a small amount of requests, he slept it off. Churchill has seen that there's only 3 paths left for him. 4 if he counts shoving a gun down my throat and pulling the trigger. But as that is off the table, 3 it is. First, he can go forwards as he has before, attempt to contact Britain. It required just a little bit of shoving people out of the way, but it's entirely possible. He could do it. Just get past those socialist warlords in Bihar and taste the salt of the sea once more. Yes, he could do that. He could do that. Next, he could double down, become worse. If the Indians are already putting up posters declaring his monsterhood, then he could very well become a monster, order it at all costs, ordering at all times, reunite the province of India, form a new Raj, one that could last 1,000 years, as long as Britain, till every trace of his disgusting continent is gone and all that is left is Britain he loves. Oh my god, that is not a wholesome route at all. Or he could be a politician again. The warlord life never suited him. No, he loves democracy too much. He loves freedom too much. To think about being a warlord, introduce reforms, install a new electoral system. If he will create a new Raj, it will be through peace. He creates a new Raj, it could be with words, not weapons. Wow. Yeah. We're going for the regain contact with Britain. Steady as she goes. Churchill's awakening. Changing the course. And what's this one? Night in the library. Yes, we shall soldier on the way we were going. So all we need to do is break the Federal Republic of India, and we will have a coastline. And we will be able to say hi to the British. Wonder who's going to win in Japan and Korea and Indochina this time. Ah, the Conservatives? Okay. So, weaken the government? That's not that. Power to the moderates. I don't know which one is democratic. Stick to our values, maybe? Stick with Schulz-Schneck. I definitely said that wrong. Crown of von Habsburg. Czechs must submit. Brothers to the north. Yeah, right, concentrate on history. There are interesting paths. I might have to play as you more than once, Winston. Definitely. Except from this one, I don't care for peacefully reuniting. That seems boring. Famine. Out in Siberia. The massive lump of flesh that was Winston Churchill groaned and mumbled as it got off the bed. Joints ached, head pounded, and muscles refused to work the way they should. After what seemed like hours, but was probably more like 15 minutes, he was shuffling towards his closet and put on a bathrobe. He tied the belt a little too tight, but that didn't matter. It was time for him to begin his day. A quick glance at the clock told him it was 1 p.m. Time for lunch. Though the nicotine craving he developed long ago gnawed at his stomach all the same as hunger. Put on his slippers and went to solve his cravings. Oh, thank God he's up. The last cigar out of wine. Oh no. The life of a leader. Churchill's life is boring. Easy. It's one he's lived for years. Let's take a look. We're gonna have a look at his schedule. A gentle hand as we beat them. Stop them now, whatever it takes, however many bullets it takes, end the descent. Oh my. This seems terrible, gassing them. We need help. Chemical friends. Take every gun. Oh, thank God he's up, mumbled the maid to her aide. He's up. Get him his breakfast. It'll be cold, the aide pointed out. We made it an hour ago. That's when you say he's normally up. Didn't require that much. If it really bleeds you to serve a man cold food, then you can tell him he has to wait. The threat of disappointing Churchill was enough to discourage the aide from further questions. She nodded quietly and scurried off before the one-eyed maid got angry at her. Ah, the maid that got the glass shoved in her face. Bacon, eggs, toast, and a heady glass of white wine along with coffee if the supplies held. Luckily today, they had. He sat there, munching away at the food, considering what next would happen today. Wow, what's a fantastic schedule. Cigars are quite nice, and a staple of Churchill's life for quite some time, though no one tells him how many are left. Oh no, he's going to lose his marbles, if that cigar is indeed the last one. Elite infantry. It's absolutely terrible, that infantry. Well, it's not completely useless, so hopefully better than the Indian troops we're coming up against. It's weird playing in India. I've only ever played this mod in Europe. I'm saying that I did invade the Madras presidency when I was playing in Japan. A cloud of smoke floated around the solarium, where wilting plants suffered under the noxious nicotine and Churchill's general lack of care for anything green. Churchill, for his part, was pressing a cigar butt into the yellowed crystal glass that served as his ashtray these days. It wasn't long till someone the news hire walked in the room, bowing deeply and asked him if he needed anything. Another cigar, please. It seems as though this box, he held up the small carton and shook it, is empty. The maid nodded and went to get another box. Churchill relaxed. His fix of nicotine seemed to be brought over. Sir, the contrite maid said upon our arrival, I cannot find any cigars. Not in the humidifier, not in the storage, not in your personal storage, none in the officers' quarters either. There's not a single cigar in this place. Like hell there isn't, Churchill roared, standing upright, wobbling as the blood rushed to his head. Search harder, search more. Sir, I have. God, sir, that's exactly what I thought was going to happen. Take a lunch break. Ah, wine, meat and bread. The 3 food groups. Churchill enjoys his long lunch breaks. The 3 food groups. Yes, wine, meat and bread. All part of a balanced diet, really. Oh dear, oh dear. Is that going down? Oh, because world tension's probably simmering back down. Oh god, revolutionary Japan looks like it's going to win. Lunch at 4 p.m. was the first hot meal Churchill had today. It wasn't anything special. Chicken soup and bully beef sandwiches. We didn't want anything special either. Instead, as he grabbed another sandwich from the lazy Susan, he motioned the one-eyed maid over. Can you bring me some more wine? He murmured. She nodded, trying not to look directly into Churchill's eyes, hoping he didn't see the fear in her own. The trip down to the wine cellar was a horror movie, as the creaking stairs and cobwebs became her only companion. She turned a corner and started pursuing the wine. There was none. Every bottle was gone. Fear and panic shot through her as she raced to find some way to explain to Sir Churchill that there simply wasn't any wine left. No wine, no cigars. This is completely unacceptable. What happened? Where did it go? She could have sworn there was a new shipment in last week, but then Churchill had held that party with his officers. Did he drink it already? Did some sly officer steal it? She ventured back upstairs, shaking his ear approached Churchill. Sir, there is no wine. There was silence, tense silence as Churchill contemplated this. He sandwiched her still on the table and told her to get out. Shouted to be left alone. She didn't need much convincing, soon running to her quarters. God damn it all. Yeah, this is completely unacceptable. Wait, let's do some paperwork. Just some paperwork. Just some signing here and there, proving actions taken 10 months ago. Brilliant. So we're getting a lot of events here. I'm quite liking this. So we'll talk on the phone. Yes, yes, I understand. Yes, yes, I know what it means. I know. Just make it happen. 25 political power. Nice. Who's in our... so we have the flamboyant brute himself, Winston Churchill. Maurice Garner Hallett as the apologetic clerk. Balanced budget advocate, Harry Graham Haig. Lord Wingate, the terror in the night. And a logistics specialist, Michael O'Dwyer. And we don't have any military staff. Well, we do have companies. That's one thing. Okay, talk on the phone. Let's do it. What's this little thing here? Oh, I thought there was a little button there to press. Yeah, we could do with getting up to partial mobilization. Which at least we'll be able to go up to early mobilization, which is not going to help us anyways. It'd be pointless. And we don't have any resources. Wow, we are really screwed, aren't we? Flippin' heck. Okay, take a nap. Churchill always adored his daily siestas, his long naps throughout the day. He always took one after lunch. So he wakes up, has lunch, and then goes for a nap. Brilliant. Yeah, the Russians are at war. Wonder if he's ever won. Would be interesting to happen. Oh, the United Anti-Japanese Front won. Okay, this is actually becoming pretty even. Okay, not what was expecting to happen from you. Don't think you're gonna. Yeah, you're doomed. Oh yeah, you only have 14k in your army max, and we have a war breaking out over here. I don't even think you've done anything. Well, out the Japanese age, you're doomed as well. The lazy Sunday. Winston lounged on his sofa for an hour or two at a time, slipping between various states of consciousness, sleep, and the annoying halfway point, where you could still sense the world around you, but couldn't actually act. He hated the last one most of all. Reminded him too much of being awake, without the ability to drink to soften the blows. But today was a lazy day like any other lazy Sunday. Nothing to worry about, nothing to concern himself with. The one day he would declare was solely for him, and him alone. A critic could charge that it wasn't exactly much different from every other day, but Churchill had long purged the critics, moving them to low-level positions where he wouldn't be bothered by them. Time to relax, Winston. You've done a good job. Has he, though? Has he really? Someone banging at my door. God, who is it? Well, there better be some sort of damn crisis happening out there. Hey, who knows? Who knows? I feel like harsh put-downs is probably the option that would most likely fit with what's going on, but I'm going to do the gentle hand when we get to it. Knock, knock, knock. Winston tumbled off his sofa, trying to stand upright and proper return to the door. Knock, knock, knock. This had better be important, Churchill thought to himself as he grasped the doorknob. Knock, knock, knock. He swung the door open. An officer, no, a field marshal. Field Marshal Dyer was standing there, his face covered in sweat and his expression transfixed in fear. Sir, he said, it's urgent. What? Unless someone's dead, I don't know why you've bothered me. Okay, anyways, the life of an officer. The officers are really the ones in power of the United Provinces. They have started making autonomous choices, with their loyalty to Churchill being the only thing that's uniting their policies. That didn't sound good. There we go. Food shortages. There's over 30 million people in our land. Farms are not producing enough. We must start taking measures, and our measures will be unpopular. Time to bite the bullet, for there is little rice. And rationing. Men 450 grams of rice, women 350 grams of rice, children 150 grams of rice. Less if you do not work, more if you work in agriculture. Okay? They are, for clear reasons, desperate. Do not treat them so harshly. These protesters must be handled gently. And demand Churchill's presence. Where the bloody hell is our leader? Go and get him out of bed. Get his fat ass in here. Volunteer only. Oh! I almost clicked on that. Me and the officers. General Governor of the Steeps. Okay. You know, oh, that's Kornilov got ousted in my Italian playthrough. Because it's what, Grey Ukraine now. You're doing a wonderful job, Churchill said to the officer's guard before ordering 3 more bottles of wine to be brought over. The 20 men, his closest friends and companions in this trying time, 15 were piss drunk, 2 were sober, 2 were only mildly buzzed, and 1 was passed out on the table, a puddle of spittle slowly growing from the carnivorous source that was his mouth. I have read all your reports, of course, Churchill lied. I have come to the conclusion that we are making progress. Well, there have been some setbacks in the pacification efforts. It really is quite wonderful to see the progress we have made in look now proper. I greenlight all your proposals. This was problematic, given half of them didn't remember their proposals, and the other half of them contradicted each other. The officers weren't drunk to celebrate, they were drunk to tolerate their monthly meeting with Churchill. To an extent, Churchill knew this, but he didn't care. The officers knew how to work among themselves, towards Churchill. It didn't matter how productive the meetings were, they were formalities. The officers really ran the show, and Churchill thought it suited him just fine. More wine? Jason looks like he might actually have an idea. Yeah, we can't have them getting any ideas out here. Oh my days, our longest focus yet, 28 days. Oh, these are all 28 days, those ones. Okay, cool. So, the old dog got his bite back. In the last war. Expanded conscription. Push to the ocean. The special war begins. Thank you for that. Federal Republic of India. That's who we're going after. Is there any other pop-ups? Because I didn't see any of my Italy playthrough when the big war broke out between Germany and France. A Finnish civil war? Finnish socialist workers. You do have a little old tree here. An interesting place for them to spawn, but reactionaries are in charge. I feel like you're actually winning right now. This war is our war. Oh ho ho, will they help? Steady as she goes. New faction will emerge. Ah, Colonel of this division has some questions. Anyways, food shortages. The farmers of the United Provinces have been a constant source of pain and agony for the regime. Not only do they not produce as much as they're instructed to, but what they do produce is often stashed and hidden away. No matter how many police are brought in, no matter how grandiose the threats of violence are, and no matter how harshly those threats are enacted, look now, police and Churchill's army cannot dislodge the rice from the farmers. Promises of payment don't work, and farmers have been burnt before. Threats of violence don't work. It's not like the farmers would be free from harm if they handed the crops over. It's a problem many in the regime believe insurmountable. This has had many consequences, chief among them that the famine perpetually looms over the United Provinces. Unless something changes soon, the people who look now will starve. That doesn't sound good. Anyways, let's do some rationing then. That'll hopefully solve the problem. But it won't, it'll just make things worse. Have we built another factory yet? Nope, it's going to take us to 1939 to finish it. Flippin' heck. The Order of the Star. Inexperienced administration. Oh, we've all got the collapse of the Raj. They have division attack on core territory and defense on core territory. That's not great. You don't have anything except from that, so. They do have a bigger army than us, so that is concerning. Take it we'll lose that once we actually get to the coastline. We need guns! We need manufacturing equipment. Extremism rising. Oh god. Our solution backfires. Army desertions. Low supplies. Police everywhere. Oh no. The boiling point. Dust to dust. Oh, we're gonna explode, aren't we? We need food. Was the simple constant chant of desperate people filled the streets of Luke now? Filled the throats of the population when rise to not. The ration that was imposed, a mere handful of rice, was what they were expected to eat each day, barely enough to sustain an invalid, a prisoner who never moves, let alone people who work every day. Children were sickly, the elderly were already half-starved, and hunger gnawed at the entire city. If it wasn't relieved soon, then the riot would become a full-on revolution. The officers of the United Provinces watched over them all, trying to decide their course of action. Damn it all, this is not going very well, from the sounds of it. A gentle hand. Let's hope this works in our favour. So I feel like we're going to push and get some land, but then we're going to completely flip and collapse. It is over. We are spent. It is all for thee. Oh God. I maybe chose the route where there is actually no winner in this situation. I think Churchill is going to die. And that doesn't work either. I feel like the only way that Churchill can survive is if we do this. This peace for love of India. Why is this? Why is that there? Count the votes, recount the votes, count them all. We must know who won and why it's Churchill. That sounds like it's a rigged vote. Something tells me that Churchill does not get a happy ending in this. Like, that election will see him out of power. Beat the starving. Disperse, shouting the officer waving his knife stick in the air. Under orders of the Viceroy Churchill, you are all to disperse. No one listened, no one dispersed and slunk back into their homes with tails between their legs. No one was willing to give up the fight, not now. Not when home meant death by slow agonizing starvation. The officers felt as a mass of Indians, many thin from lack of food, others wild-eyed with desperation, pangs of fear, guilt, desperation, just the same as the Indians they were told to keep under control. It was duty. When they had not dispersed, the crowd was forced away. Squads of police and army men with clubs and nightsticks beat away the protesters, breaking bones and shattering skulls. At the end of the day, 75 of the rioters, whose sole desire was to have a day's worth of rice, lay dead. Hundreds more crawled back to their home. Yeah, okay, I feel like that was still the better course of action. I can't believe I'm saying that, but it was definitely better than shooting them. Like, let's demand his presence. He needs to be here. An early mobilization helps with construction speed after all. And let's finish today with the gassing the Indians. Churchill has a specific plan. Break out the chlorine gas, break out the tear gas, load the artillery, time to fight. It is time to show them how serious we are in this guerrilla war. With far less casualties. Is it gonna have that effect? I don't think so. Oh dear. Oh! Imperial Japan actually won in the end. And have they decided on which way they want to go with it again? Oh, both. Right, bamboo circle will show us. Oh! They just declared war on Russia. Orenburg military district. They only have 3 to 13 divisions, but that's another 3 to 13 divisions the Russians have got to handle. Civil war in Finland still raging on. What are you doing? Because if you patrol the forests. Okay. Return rights to the German aristocracy. The Grey Pact. Propose an alliance. Der Osterpublik. Tectonic charge. Okay. Prepare the soldiers. Expand. Autonomy within Russia. Why the hell would you do that? Invite the Brotherhood. Okay. The solution, Churchill barked, is simple. We've done it before, we can do it again. Get a gas up, and shell the villages until the villages get these upstart ringleaders to stop. If that doesn't work, beat the hell out of any Indian who looks at you funny. This isn't a difficult thing to sort out. The officers not wanting to contradict Churchill, perhaps out of misplaced loyalty to him, or perhaps because they were too tired to argue, nodded. Gas will kill any uprising with far less casualties than any other method. You all know this. So why haven't you not gone and done it yet? One by one the men left, wringing their hands with uncertainty towards their orders. Yeah, that pretty much is not great. We need help. We must become more extreme. We must become stronger. We must do everything possible to secure this nation. Secure our rule to contact Britain. We must act. Wow, we're going insane trying to get contact with Britain. Well, anyways, I'm going to leave that episode there, so thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I shall be back very soon for some more. Till then, take care. Goodbye. Then now.